Says Malungelo Booi is at OR Tambo International Airport awaiting these arrivals. Malu, a very good morning to you. And what do we know of what time they're expected back home and the details of their flight?
Well, hi there, Yuveka. In fact, looking at the arrivals board, their flight CA867 from Beijing has just landed. So some of the parents, the few parents that are here, are already waiting to receive their children. Out of that number of 51, we're expecting at least 18 of them to arrive this morning. We've been told that they're arriving on different flights from Beijing to South Africa. This is the same, Yuveka, the same exit point that they use, or the port of entry that they use, rather, to leave this country. And this is the same exit point of entry that they're using to arrive. Well, their dreams really of teaching English and also traveling in China came crumbling down really in the past 6 weeks when their passport were confiscated. These children had left South Africa, hoping that they were going to teach English in China. And in fact, we know that they were recruited by a Chinese national here in South Africa. Some of the parents were saying that they're so looking forward to receiving their children. In fact, one of the mother of one of the children was saying that she has been talking to her daughter and saying that I will cook whatever you want as long as you are at home. I'm trying to see if any of the parents is willing to talk to me, but I think it's still very early for them to be talking to me. Yuvi?
Now, obviously, a very anxious time for them, Malungelo, and I'm sure you'll get some word from them once they see that their kids are safely back home. Now, we know that we just heard the story mentioning Owen Wang, the owner of Sunday Youth International. We understand he's been arrested. He's under arrest in China. Do we know if there are any investigations happening from our side, from the South African side?
Well, we're not clear about whether there is an investigation that's taking place in South Africa, but what we know is that Chinese authorities in China arrested that particular man. And what they've done also is that what I've been hearing is that there's other 2 South Africans that won't be returning. I think those 2 South Africans that won't be returning are part of the people that are assisting the Chinese authorities in their investigation. Remember, the release of these South African students, Yuvega, happened because South African authorities had a good working relationship with China, and the international relations minister had to intervene here. I'm trying to see, Yuvega, if I can have a word with one of the parents. Charles Fender, please do come to me. I can see you all smiles this morning. How are you?
Over the moon, ecstatic, absolutely. Yeah, relieved.
You're relieved?
Yeah.
How did your son end up there?
You know what? They went over nearly, well, most of the group went over nearly at the beginning of last year. They were recruited by Owen and then given a job at the schools and started teaching, thinking that their student visa is going to be converted over to a working visa. They carried on working. And they got called back to the university about 110 days ago and found out 6 weeks ago that the visas were never converted over to working visas. And hence their passports were confiscated.
How has it been like for the family and most of these parents that are here today?
It's been a nightmare. It's been an absolute living hell. Difficult, you cannot explain the helplessness that you feel when you are there. Because knowing that you're not getting the right answers when you want the answers because you're eager, and the process takes long because of the diplomatic procedures. But yeah, it's just been a nightmare.
How did these young South Africans hear about Owen and Sunday Youth International? I understand that's the organization he runs. How did they get to know about it?
There were some of our students that went across to go to China under a different company, which was all legal. Everything was fine. And then Owen approached them there in China and told them what his business is and what he does. He flew back to South Africa, did the pitch with the parents, the owners, with the other students, and that's how it started.
Tell me about your son. Has he always wanted to travel? Has he always wanted to teach English? Tell me more about him, because it seems now that dream has been crushed.
No, in actual fact, Renier is a career rugby player. It was never his intention to go and teach English. And then, he started getting interest because some of his friends went across. And when he landed there, he just found his new career, his new life. And he will never change. And that's what he's going to do. And he's definitely going to pursue this after this, and he will carry on. Definitely.
I mean, what's the first thing you're going to do for him? His flight has landed. Exactly. What's the first thing you're going to be saying to him?
I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to his mom.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, Ivega, that's one of the parents. And Charles Venter, he has been the spokesperson for the families of these children. Their flight has landed. The group of parents now is waiting to receive their children. They're going to come through that door, in fact, Ivega. They're going to be coming through that door any moment now. So it's back to you for now.